In this video, I'm going to go over the second section of questions I like to ask clients when I'm designing their kitchen. I've done a part 1, so if you haven't seen that, I'd recommend watching that video as well. So the second section of questions is more about me gathering the technical information I need to get the design and layout right. Hi, I'm Michael from Kitchensider and welcome back to the channel. So most of these questions are about appliances or items that we need to get in the kitchen. Some of these questions are quite obvious, but still important to ask and important to think about and understand from a design and layout point of view. Now, I always tell my clients that this is just a starting point. You can totally change your mind. I'm not going to hold you to all of these. I'm not going to pin you down and say, well, you said this, you have to have this. This is just to get the ball rolling and to start thinking about these things and to start to understand what you want in the kitchen. So my first sort of question is sink and tap. Now, yes, I would like a sink and I would like a tap in my kitchen. That's very obvious. But what I'm really asking here is the type of sink you're after. So this could be a farmhouse sink or an undermount sink, the type of material that you want this to be made out of. Do you want one large bowl? Do you want 2 bowls, a bowl and a half? What do you like to use most? What's your kind of workflow with your sink? Because the size of sink will dictate the size of the cabinet needed and the space it's going to take up in the layout. And taps, yes, you want a tap. Really, this is, are you interested in boiling water taps? So from a costing perspective, because they do cost quite a bit more than a standard tap. Is there a particular style of tap that you're after? So it's not crucial you know exactly which tap you want, but starting to think about the kind of styles and the types and the cost of these things is important. My next question is your fridge freezer. Now, do you want an American fridge freezer or do you want to go integrated? Or something I'm seeing more and more is integrated but a full height larder fridge and a full height larder freezer. What is it that you would like for your new kitchen that's going to suit your lifestyle best? Now, the type of fridge freezer is important from a design point of view. If it's an American fridge freezer that's freestanding, that's different footprint and a different kind of design and layout that we need to consider. All these things play into what we've got to fit in the space and how we're going to fit them in. Then I like to move on to the cooking situation. So my question is if you would like a range cooker or if you're interested in a separate hob and separate oven. Now, if it's a range cooker, I want to know the size of the range cooker ideally that you would like. So are we going 90 centimeters, a meter, 1.1, 1.2, do you want a monster 1.5 meter range? Like, what is it that you would ideally like? Because again, we've got to fit this into the layout and into the space. And if you prefer separate hob and ovens, I want to know again, what size hob would you like? Are you okay with a smaller 4-zone hob that's typically 60 centimeters wide, or do you need a wider one, 80 centimeters, a 5-zone hob? Is it going to be induction or gas? Do we need to have this conversation about induction and gas? Do you know the pros and cons of both? Which do you prefer cooking on? And similarly with your ovens, how many ovens would you like? What kind of size ovens are we talking about? Is it just a single oven? That's all you need? Do you want a double oven? Or when you talk about double ovens, do you really mean a single oven and a combination oven? So that's a microwave and an oven. That's probably the most popular setup for ovens that I see. So really I want to understand what your ideal cooking setup is. And after we've discussed about the cooking setup, I like to ask about the extraction. So depending on what we've talked about in terms of the cooking appliances that you like, this has an impact on the type of extractor that we can use. But really I want to start a conversation about the types of extractors. So do you like chimney extractors, something that's on display, some are prettier than others, or do you want it hidden away, which would be a canopy hood? Starting to think about these things can help with the layout and designing the kitchen. The next question is, do you want a dishwasher? And I think I'm yet to find somebody that says, no, I don't want a dishwasher, I'm fine. Everybody wants a dishwasher. But again, I'm asking the size and the type of dishwasher. Now, most people want a integrated 60 centimeter dishwasher. That's a standard size dishwasher and what most people are used to. But perhaps you have a smaller space and maybe you thought you might not be able to fit a dishwasher in, but you might be able to fit a slimline dishwasher in. So that's 45 centimeters. Again, just talking about these things is important to help understand what's available, what will work or what might not work in your space. I also like to check if we need to fit a washing machine or tumble dryer into the kitchen. Now here in the UK, it's actually quite common to have your washing machine in your kitchen, which I think is quite a foreign concept for people in the States or Canada or places like that. But in England, especially in some of the bigger cities, there just isn't the room to have a separate area for your washing machine. So unfortunately, it ends up in the kitchen. So here I just want to check if we need to fit a washing machine or tumble dryer or both into the kitchen. And again, if this is going to be a freestanding machine or an integrated machine. We just want to know the size and the type so we can plan and allocate this into the space. My next question is bins. Such a glamorous topic, I know, but important to talk about and think about. So do you want integrated bins, or do you want some freestanding bins somewhere? How many bins do you need? Start to think about these things, because again, it's going to take up space in the kitchen, or if it's an integrated bin, that's a cabinet we need to plan into the layout. So think about your bins and what you need, how many bins you need, and plan them into the kitchen. And my next question sort of ties into one of the questions in my first section about how you use the kitchen. Do you want some seating area in your kitchen? And if so, ideally, how many seats would you like? So how many people do we need to accommodate for? So knowing the number of seats that you'd ideally like could influence the layout and the design of the kitchen. So if you'd like to have some seating in your kitchen, perhaps this could be on an island or a peninsula. Now again, it may be that what you want doesn't quite fit in your space, but as I said at the beginning, these questions are a starting point, and it's really important to just get the ball rolling and know what you'd ideally like, so then we can see what does and doesn't work. And my last question is all about the countertop, and more importantly, the type of countertop material that you would like. So this is usually where I'd have a discussion with the client about the different types of countertop material available and their pros and cons. And again, it would sort of link into that first section of questions about how they use the kitchen, so I'll know how robust this countertop needs to be for their lifestyle. So as the client, it's good to have a think about and know what types of material there are for your countertops. So this could be granite, marble, quartz, a sintered stone, an acrylic material, stainless steel, timber, concrete, whatever it is. Know the sort of pros and cons and what's going to work best for your lifestyle and how you use the kitchen. So have a think and maybe do a bit of research and reading around countertop materials so you know what's going to best suit your needs. So these are more of the technical questions and the nitty-gritty details that we need to discuss in order to put together what you'd like and what you need in your kitchen and how we're going to fit that into the layout and the space that you have. I hope this two-part video series on the questions that I ask my clients has helped you to think about your kitchen in a little bit more detail and helped you to prepare ahead of a kitchen design meeting, or just kind of prepare if you're doing this yourself to really stop and think about what you want out of your kitchen, what you like, what you don't like, the things that you need to fit in your kitchen. All of these things are important to stop and think about. So that's all for this one. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.